Hello friends and welcome to another absorbing video of Wisdom Zone, and this is Shubro, and I'm quite sure you have already guessed it because today I have an interesting video for you because today I'm going to discuss about useful idioms in English. So it is my earnest request, if you haven't subscribed to this channel Wisdom Zone, please do subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icons so that you can turn on the notification and continue watching this video carefully because today I'm going to discuss useful idioms which you can incorporate in your conversation. So without further ado, let's get started. So welcome back friends. And today, as you all know, that we have a very interesting discussion because today we are going to emphasize on useful idioms in English. So let's turn our attention towards the definition. As you see on your screen, a brief definition of an idiom is given. So an idiom is an expression that conveys a different meaning from its literal meaning. Okay, and that cannot be assumed from the meaning of its individual words. So, as you know, that an idiom is an expression that conveys a different meaning from its literal meaning. Okay, there is always a hidden meaning, in fact, and if you know that, then only you'll be able to use that, and that cannot be assumed from the meanings of its individual words, right? So, let me show you. There is an example on your screen. Kick the bucket. So if you try to individually interpret the meanings of the words, you will not be able to understand. Okay, so it would mean something else, but if you know the real meaning, then only you'll be able to use this. So this particular idiom, kick the bucket, means to die. Okay, so it is totally different from the individual meanings of the word, isn't that? So I hope it's crystal clear what is an idiom. So before I move forward, before I proceed, let me quickly remind I have also done some previous videos on idioms, and all the links are given in the description. So please check those videos on idioms. You will learn so many important idioms from those videos also, right? So without wasting any more time, let's get started with today's discussion because today I'm going to emphasize on 10 chosen and useful idioms for today that we're going to discuss. So let's see the first one. So the first idiom on your screen is save your own skin. So I'm quite sure you must be wondering what exactly is this idiom means. Save your own skin means to try to save yourself from something dangerous, okay? And often without caring about others. So that is called to save your skin. That means when someone trying to save himself from a danger and without caring about others, so that is called to save your own skin. So let's see how to use this. It is quite useful to use this. Let's see how to use this in a sentence. During the pandemic, some people tried to save their own skin without caring about the affected people, right? So obviously some people try to save their own skin, in the sense that some people try to save themselves first, okay, because they were not bothered about other people who were affected, so they were not ready to help them. They were more keen to just isolate themselves and to stay safe, right? So that's the way you can put it. So up next we will turn our attention towards the second useful idiom for today, that is better late than never. It is slightly self-explanatory. So as you see the meaning, better late than never means better to do something late than not doing it at all. Okay. So let's see how to use it. Yesterday I apologized as I arrived late for the meeting, but my colleague said it's okay, better late than never. So I hope you understood. That means better late than never is an idiom which can be used when suppose you are late for something or someone is late for something, but still the person has done that thing or arrived at that place. So that time it can be used that it's better to do something late than not to do it at all, right? So it's quite useful in your everyday conversation. It's going to give you a new dimension also. So let's turn our attention towards the third idiom, which is on your screen, that is make matters worse. So to make matters worse is also quite useful. This idiom means to make a situation more difficult. Okay, so make matters worse means maybe there is a situation, maybe you are already in some problem or difficulty, and something is making the situation more difficult, right? So let's see how to use this. Yesterday, Sam got late for work, and to make matters worse, it started raining cats and dogs. So it's raining cats and dogs. This is also an idiom. To rain cats and dogs means to rain heavily. This is another idiom also. I hope you have understood. So to make matters worse, it started raining. So that's why Sam faced more problems, right? So the situation became worse for him. Understood? So that's the way you can use this wonderful idiom. So up next, we will see the fourth idiom for today. That is to no avail. Okay, so to know avail is also quite useful. Maybe you are not aware. So let me tell you, explain the meaning first. No avail means without any success. Okay, so let's see how to use this. I asked my neighbor to lend some cash and help me, but to no avail. That means I didn't get any success, without any success. I just asked him, but maybe he refused. Okay, and he did not respond properly or did not lend me. Okay, so like this way you can use this. To no avail means to do something without success. Okay, so I hope it's crystal clear now. So up next we are going to see the fifth idiom for today. As you see on your screen, the fifth idiom is comparing apples to, it can be and, or it can be with oranges. Okay, so this idiom means to compare things which are very different, totally unlike. Understood? So let's see how to use this. To compare small hatchback cars with large SUVs is to compare apples to oranges. That means is to compare two different things which are totally unlike. Understood? So comparing apple to oranges or and oranges means to compare things which are very different or unlike each other. Okay. So I hope it's quite clear now. So up next we will see the sixth useful idiom for today. That is look before you leap. So it's also quite handy. So let's see the meaning. Look before you leap. It means it is better to think about the possible dangers or difficulties of something before you do something, before you act. So to look before you leap means you have to just think over the possible dangers or difficulties of a particular thing before you act or do that, right? So let's see how to use this. Kevin was planning to invest in stock market, but I advised him, you look before you leap. That means I told him that you try to introspect, you try to analyze and think before you venture, right? So that's the way you can put it. So look before you leap means you think before you do something maybe dangerous. Okay, you quickly analyze things before you take any risk. So up next we will see the seventh idiom for today, that is like chalk and cheese. So this is slightly similar to the previous idiom which we discussed, that is comparing apple to oranges. It is slightly similar to that, but the difference is that like chalk and cheese means when two people or things are completely different from each other. So it can be used in case of people also. Okay, not only things, right? So when we see that there are two people who are totally unlike each other, so that time also we can use like they are like chalk and cheese. So let's see how to use this. Kelly and her sister are like chalk and cheese. That means they are totally unlike. They are not having any similarities. They are different from each other. Okay. So I hope it's crystal clear how to use this very wonderful idiom. So up next, let's turn our attention towards the eighth idiom for today. That is save something for a rainy day. It is extremely useful one. Save something for a rainy day means to save something, especially money, for future needs or emergency. Okay, so it means to when you save money, especially or something for future needs, it's called to save for a rainy day. So let's see how to use this. As you see the example on your screen, we must learn how to save for a rainy day. That means we must learn how to save money or other things for our future needs for emergency. Okay, so that's the way you can use this. It's a wonderful idiom to be used. So up next we will towards the ninth idiom, that is on your screen, that is beat a dead horse. Don't beat a dead horse is also a fascinating idiom. It means not to waste time. Don't waste time and energy on something which is of no use. Okay, so it means that don't waste time and energy on something which is of no use. Okay. So let's see how to use it in your sentence. I was rather upset as I did not get the promotion, but my brother said, don't beat a dead horse. That means he said there is no point in discussing something which doesn't have any merit because it already happened, right? So that's the way you can use this idiom. that there is no point in wasting time and energy on something which doesn't have any kind of use anymore. Okay, so up next we are going to turn our attention towards the last and the 10th idiom for today. So as you see on your screen, the 10th one is off one's rocker, which is extremely useful. Off one's rocker means to become crazy or to behave strangely. Okay, so it means suddenly someone becomes crazy or gets upset or to behave very strangely. That is called to off one's rocker. Okay, off one's rocker means to become crazy or to behave strangely. So let's see the example. As you see on your screen, the example is given. Kevin is off his rocker as his favorite soccer team lost a crucial match yesterday. That means he's behaving strangely and he has become crazy slightly because he's maybe upset and as his favorite team lost a crucial match, right? So it can be possible, right? So that's the way you can use this, that off one's rocker means to become crazy or to behave in a strange manner, right? So I'm quite sure you have understood how to use this wonderful idiom in your everyday English conversation, and you can use all this idiom for competitive examination also. They can also come handy. Okay, these idioms can be asked and the meanings can be asked, and I'm quite sure the meanings are quite clear at present, right? So I'm quite sure you understood all the 10 idioms which we discussed, and let me remind you that this particular series is also going to continue on idioms, where we are going to discuss more and more idioms in the coming days. So, again, it is my earnest request, please do not forget and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can turn on the notification and you get further notification of this type of informative video. So, stay tuned for further informative videos and do not forget to subscribe.